This is a video for how to go about utilizing Google Gemini's artificial intelligence platform. In this video, we will look at just some basic functions of what Google Gemini can do and ways to ask it questions and get efficient answers. At the bottom of your screen, you're going to see something that says Ask Gemini, and so we're going to click and just have our cursor there. And I'm a sports fan, and I was thinking about asking Google Gemini a question about some statistical leaders. So I'm going to ask Google Gemini, who are the top 10 scoring leaders for the Dallas Mavericks? And automatically, Google Gemini is going to go out and it's going to say, it's tricky to give a definitive top 10 list because it comes from different sources. So the way I asked the question was kind of a general question, if you will. It's pretty general, and notice that I'm not getting statistics or, the number of points next to each one of these people. So in the way that you ask Google Gemini or any artificial intelligence platform a question, it helps to be a little bit more specific when you ask the question. So to re-ask the question, and hopefully I can get some, more defined answers, I'm going to say, according to the Dallas Mavericks, who are the top 10 all-time scoring leaders? So I'm asking, according to the organization, who are the all-time scoring leaders? And it'll take it and put this basically right into a full list for us. And it says, here are the Dallas Mavericks top 10 all-time scoring leaders according to the team's official records. Now notice it did not give me the points next to it. So one thing I want to ask, it's just to refine this. I want to see how many points they had. I can go back up here and we're going to go up to edit text, and I'm going to highlight the text. I can hit Control C on my keyboard, and I'm going to say cancel and get out of that. And let's go back down here to Ask Gemini, and I'm going to paste that in with Control V. Who are the all-time scoring leaders with total points scored? And I'm going to hit enter. And as we come back, now we get a way more refined list. And this is one of the things in Google Gemini that's good to learn about, how to ask questions that are more detailed, because the artificial intelligence platform is going to go out and find you information, but it's going to look for specific things in the wording of your questions. What's nice about having all of the total points and the names next to it is I can say, this was a good response or a bad response. I can even regenerate it. And what's nice is there's this thing called share and report. And if I wanted to take all of this and put it in a Google Doc, I can just export it to Google Docs. I can also share the conversation with somebody. I can, take this link and just take the link and send it to somebody. I can put it on LinkedIn, Facebook, X or Reddit or anything. I really like the concept too of being able to go in and just say, hey, throw this into a draft in Gmail for me, and it'll automatically take it over there. Now, obviously, ChatGPT is a very popular, AI platform, but using the Google Gemini platform just allows you to use all your Google Docs and your Gmail, and it just works seamlessly with all that. Very nice method of using AI and getting information. So kind of as I scroll back up, I can look back through how I asked that question and how I could more refine that down and get a more succinct answer with more detail. I know another question we could throw in is, let's just say that you're a high school senior and you're going away to college. And I live pretty close to the University of Missouri. And there's a dorm there called Bluford Hall at Mizzou. And if a student's going to Mizzou and they find out that's where they're going to live in that dorm, they might ask it a question like, what should I bring with me as I move into Bluford Hall at Mizzou? If I ask it a question, it'll come up and it'll say, here's some essentials. It even gives the exact dimensions of the beds. A lot of just these common items that any, college freshman would need. I mean, these are pretty common examples, but is there a way I could ask that question more specific in a kind of a need to know thing? Like, I would like to know not just the general stuff, like give me some specific information. And so if I asked, what do people who live in Bluford Hall at Mizzou recommend bringing on move-in day? Much more specific. So like, what do other people say? Someone who's lived there. So here's what people who've actually lived in Bluford Hall at Mizzou recommend bringing on move-in day. So they're saying, bring a clip-on fan, all these different examples. Like, I want to know what other people have said. So it's almost kind of like getting some reviews or some comments or some ideas. So one of the cool things, again, you could just throw this in an email if you knew who your roommate was, and you could just send it to them and say, I'll be bringing this, this, and this. It gives you a nice itemized list. Really cool idea. And I love using artificial intelligence to find answers to questions, but the thing we have to learn when we use artificial intelligence is how to be specific in the questions that we ask. So try to be as specific as possible, as far as like just asking general questions versus trying to find out what like local people might think, and it's going to search different sources and get better, more detailed information for you. So this has been a video for how to go about utilizing Google's AI platform Gemini, and how to ask succinct questions to get more specific answers to any questions or inquiries you might have.